Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate having a lot of people in the house once in a while. It's usually not this busy. So kind of gives me a reminder as to why I bought this place. Yeah, Jamaica, just a little
louder,
background
Bruce.
on myself.
A little louder.
A little louder? Okay. Yeah, I come from basically working roots, family. I started in the restaurant business in college, had many restaurants in Boston during the 80s, 70s and 80s, transitioned into many other things from there. Many environmental products, food products that were ahead of its time. Environmental product. People said massage chairs.
Plant-based food.
Marriott told me at the time when we were selling to Marriott, what am I going to do with massage chairs? I said, people go to a business conference. They can only drink so much coffee. They have to relax for at least a few minutes during the business conference. So, we've had different things. We were involved with the jewel cases. If you remember the CDs, the cases that went in there, we were the original patents people at the time with that, and with involved with the paper shredding involved there as well. So anyhow,
Arthur Anderson was involved with that too.
Many different things. The roads winding, up and down. Lots of curves in the road. So as far as the Caribbean, I've been going down there since about the 80s, and I've owned land in Jamaica from the 80s. I've owned land in the Antilles as well, in St. Martin at this time, which I was developing, which was on fire in the 80s. Jamaica at that time was more of a...
Matthew.
It was great. It was a great party place,
it still is.
It still is, right. It still is, from the old days and so forth. But it was at the time not really looked at as from a development standpoint. About 10 or 15 years ago, when the infrastructure really started to change there, new roads, new highways, commodities, just the whole island, the debt was reduced tremendously. Borrowing was, it's still very difficult, but they're more solvent now than they used to be. So it led to the sort of reemergence in my mind as to a place of where, it would be a good investment. I had invested into empowerment zones that Clinton had put into effect in the 90s in parts of Boston, which people said, you're out of your mind. I mean, you're going to lose your shirt. You're going to get killed, basically. It's difficult areas that turned into 10X propositions. And Matt also sort of, he's going to touch upon some of his things that he's doing as well in that area. So basically, the question I get from everybody is, well, why Jamaica? So we put together a little slideshow to answer some of those questions. We can go through them fairly quickly. Do we want to?
I'm the guy.
Okay. You're the slides.
I can go back.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just go ahead back for a second. I'll just. Okay. So spoke about the infrastructure. This is a shot over Kingston. This is the Beverly Hills of Kingston right now. We have property in Smoky Vale, which it's very expensive. I mean, it's a lot there right now would be probably $200,000 to $300,000. 10 years ago would be $20,000, for example. So this is an area that it's really nice at night. It's very cool. It's great during the day. You see the city. You see the airports in the back. The ocean's behind that. So this is Kingston, which gets sort of a bad rap because people say, oh, political things that happened years ago. But I drive around there myself. I spend a lot of time there. I have no problems. And I tell people, it's safe. You have to beware like you beware of anywhere you would go. You have to still beware. But to me, the government is trying to encourage tourism in that main city right now. So some of the things that's happening, the third international airport, which is called the Ian Fleming International Airport, which is where they filmed a lot of Roger Moore 007 activities in the area. Place called the Golden Eye. Some of you may know, have been to. Very high-end place, very close to this airport. We have about 200 acres in this vicinity within 10 minutes of this airport. That's going to be a combination of condos, townhouses, office and commercial development. They're building right over this airport. The government just announced it, and I'll send you the link so you can put it out there. A huge development where our property is a little further down. And then we have property going this way a little bit further north. So now what's happening is, without getting into too many details, a lot of the airline travel is moving to this airport. And for example, Sandal's office in Kingston is moving here because this is going to be the new airport. And this is closer to where most of the amenities are. So there's a transition to this airport, which is really causing a high demand for properties anywhere in this North Coast area. Another aspect of Jamaica, which is sort of misunderstood, is it's a great resource for building materials. And half the weight of the country is limestone. I mean, I don't know how much a country weighs, but they've actually figured out that half of the weight of that island is limestone. So we have strategic partners that own quarries, so we can supply our own materials to our own projects, which saves a lot of cost. And the other part that's really ramping up right now, okay, we've got a lot of international investment from Oriental Chinese government is very strong. They really stepped in to do a lot, and that's the reason why Jamaica is one of the reasons it's doing so well. The Spanish hoteliers are really doing well there. They've got close to 10,000 rooms. But when they build these big hotels, they want to ensure that the locals have a good job, and a good place to live. So, for example, one of these houses would be roughly $100,000 for 1,000 square feet, 2 or 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. And they want to cater to the growing family that's, 35-year-old couple. They've got 1 or 2 kids. They both work in the hotel industry. They make, average is about $16,000 a week, which is roughly about $120 a week. But they get a house. The government guarantees the house. So for developers, for us, they basically say that build the houses, we will buy them. They cap your profit. So basically, it's about 20%. But there's a huge demand. They need 100,000 homes in the next 10 years. Okay, talk about the luxury properties that we have several of that are near the coast. So, which would be properties that many in this audience would probably want or be interested in. These are properties that are directly on the ocean with a private beach, or very close to it in high-end areas. So there's a huge demand not only from Americans, but from Canadians, from Europeans, and also the returning resident market, okay, which is the diaspora. There are 2 million people that were born there that live in New York, London, Europe, retiring now, just like many of us are soon, and they want to go back home, go back to their family. They've got money, and so on and so forth. So there's a huge market for that. And what distinguishes Jamaica from many other of the islands is the culture. It's the music. The beaches are great, of course. I was just down there for 3 months and basically eating, local cuisine. I don't buy American food when I'm down there. And I felt better. I lost weight. I looked better. I wasn't even working out. I was just swimming. And it's just, I can tell you, the food there is a higher quality than what we serve here, unless you're really getting very high quality food here. And in general, it's a higher quality there. Well, I could feel within the first week of coming back here and eating, my stomach was like not accepting the food well. It was just the way it is. Yeah. So, right. So just, go back to, thanks, Mark. So yeah, all right. So basically, the reason that we are successful there is that we put our time in. We've sort of paid our dues in this respects. So we have a lot of contacts there in government and also with attorneys. So we're getting land at very good rates. At very good rates. We deal with problem properties a lot that are in either a tax situation or some type of probate situation. A lot of times people are older, the kids are in America, and the gentleman doesn't know what to do with the land. We come in, we basically help them develop it, give them a house to live in, give him a brand new house, help him develop it, and help him, he can share in the profits. So that's one way. Other ways are, there's a situation there called squatting, which a lot of people, they see an empty house, no one's living there, they just start living there. After 12 years, if you're living there in the open, you can actually apply for title. So what we will work with those people because he can assign those rights to a new person coming in. So we can only be there for a year and sign those rights. So basically that's another way. These are some of our partners, NECA Designs, Kinetic Engineering. We do marketing. We're going to do, very proactive AI marketing. That was one of the reasons I was very interested to have Mark here. And we want to be able to do financing. That's really what I wanted to address the audience, is that because our entry costs are so low and our building costs are going to be relatively low because we own the stone, that we can basically offer a new market, which we can offer people, like when they sold Florida in the 60s, buy a lot, 10% down. We want to offer this in Jamaica. And another reason is that there are a lot more younger people that are moving there. So, for example, the Pinnacle in Montego Bay, there's 3 towers. They're like $1 million a unit, and it's a lot of younger people moving in there into those units. It's a Chinese project. They're very successful. So anyhow, this is some of what we have in the pipeline. We have several thousand acres. This was an older print. We're actually up to about 3,000 or 4,000 acres right now.
How much can you see putting to work in Jamaica?
Well, we're in phase 1 now. Phase 2, it could be anywhere from 25 to 50 million. So we could.
But I mean, like over the next 5 years, perfect world, how much can you deploy?
Probably 100 or more. Yeah, very easily, because with our build out, we're estimating in 7 years a $500 million profit in about 7 years. So basically, with our opening quotation, it's about a 5x return. These are some of our designs. So this is a beachfront project. So we have a project here in Guardia Bay. We've had that 10 years. We've had this one for a few years in Ocho Rios. This is the Smoky Vale. This is a country club between Kingston and Mandeville.
Talk about the wellness too.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. So I just wanted to touch on a few of the locations, and I want Matt and Jacob to talk. So part of the what I like to do, because of the wellness background I have in the things, to me, anything that's sort of holistic wellness is I'm very drawn to that. So part of these, we're going to have a wellness component in all these projects, but now that Jacob and I work, Jacob deals with luxury, high-end, short-term glamping models and doing the luxury short-term market and approaching the wellness tourism market, which is estimated to be $2 trillion in the next 5 years. So I'm going to let say a few words, and then I'd like to have Matt come back.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, everyone. You guys can hear me okay in the back? So quick on my background. I got into real estate investing actually after I lost my eye to a random drive-by shooting when I was 15. I also started a mentoring and leadership development program. Albany, New York. Yeah. And Latham, which was voted like one of the safest towns prior to that year. I think I dropped the ranking a bit. But yeah, long story short, I ended up starting a mentoring and leadership development program for kids that have been through traumatic life experiences. Ended up finding a passion for that, so I got into education administration. I started a startup here, an international school in Providence, Rhode Island, and so we did that for about 8 years. So I went to grad school here in Providence, and we had international students coming to live with us. We took over a former 57,000 square foot nursing home, converted it into an international boarding school, became an accredited English language school.
What are we going to do here?
Yeah. But so anyway, so long story short, I got into hospitality through that, and then started investing into real estate early on, short-term rental stuff, and this is where it ties in here. And so currently developing an eco resort up in the Adirondacks, former golf course, 330 acres, private 30-acre lake, river frontage. Oh, Hamanasi. Yeah, so we're talking last night. Go ahead, tell them.
Yeah, so the people in Russia that owned the Apple dealership for Russia, and then Russia took off, and Apple's like, someone owns our dealership for Russia? Like, we had to buy these people out. They took the buyout, and they developed this thing in Belize, and I went there, my kids, and scuba. You love scuba. Anyways, he was like, oh, this is like, I know Hamanasi.
Yeah, it's such a small world. So so we were talking last night over dinner, and so Hamanasi was one of the first, and that's what inspired me to get into eco resorts. From a development perspective, I'm also shooting a travel doc series that we're pitching to Netflix, HBO, and some other networks as well. We'll see who gives us the best offer. And so Hamanasi, this eco dive resort, the Nature Conservancy.
You're gonna do that a little bit here.
Yes, correct. And so the Nature Conservancy hired us. So my mentoring and leadership development program is also a full-service advertising agency, and I don't have enough time to explain all of that. But when I was in grad school, I was teaching a lot of different things: video production, web design, music production, and
The Italian guy over here.
which one?
The guy who came, is he still around? He's the Jack Wine.
Good-looking guy?
Good-looking guy.
Yeah, I saw
So
him.
we gotta-
Yeah. No, I got to keep it moving. Yeah. So yeah. Long story short, we ended up connecting, and we're combining the U.S. developments that I'm working on, which here in Rhode Island, I'm working with a business partner, Carolyn Raphelian, who is founder of Alex and Ani. She owns Kind of Vineyard. If you look across the water, that's right over that way. And then the Adirondacks, we have Poconos. We got a ski resort project. I'd have to have you sign an NDA to get into details on that one. But 400 plus home developments in both the Poconos, Adirondacks, and we're combining those with Jamaica. Yeah.
Transition to Matt. So basically, the plan here with this particular place is to add on another 3,500 square feet, add more suites, just make improvements all the way around, and we would do wellness services here. We do anti-aging wellness, tourism, conferences like we're having today. Basically, we'd be able to do quite a bit more. With being a live-in, having small. We wouldn't be able to house this many people, but we.
wanted to have a room here.
Yeah, well, next time we'll have more, hopefully. So anyhow, but I want to introduce Matt. Matt is a really key player. He's a very hard worker. He's got tremendous contacts, and he's got tremendous contacts in Jamaica. Very, very strong contacts with the government, with legal, with the legal end of it, in construction, for example. So we are going to be employing his contacts with construction and so forth. I want to say a few words, Matt.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So, yeah, my partner actually happens to be from Jamaica. A little bit about me. I've been in development, kind of grew up in that world. My grandfather and family's been in it, mostly domestically. But my partner's actually from Jamaica, and his family's one of the bigger development companies down there, and, involved with very big attorneys as well. Also want to quickly mention that we are going to be introducing some energy technology, sustainable energy technology, really cutting edge, and it's going to be great. And in Jamaica, the cost of energy is actually a major problem, because sometimes be higher than a mortgage, and we're going to be introducing technology to lower the cost for everyone in. Yeah, so that's really exciting. And thank you.
Great. Well, thanks again, Mark. I'm going to, if there's any questions, I'll turn it back over to you, but just want to give you a brief intro on Jamaica.
Any questions for
Yes.
our host?
Just one question.
Yes.
Two parts. How is the security situation and how is the power situation? Like brownouts and whatnot?
Right. So there are occasional brownouts, but they usually don't last. If there's a hurricane, it's going to happen here the same way. It could be down for a few days, but the power it's not constantly. I mean, I would say it's occasional. I mean, there has to be a reason for it. It just doesn't go down. The crime is way down. It's one of the reasons why it's getting more and more popular. We've got an upgrade with the travel, the advisory rating. The government just upgraded it as being safer. But I can just tell you, I believe even the beginning, those ratings were overblown. A lot of the violence, or a lot of the things they were talking about were amongst people that live there, not really geared against tourists. They're very protective of tourists. The government, for example, when I was just down there, I was tired at night, and I was staying in a hotel in Kingston, and it was a little noisy. Like a couple of streets over, they're having a little party. I made a call, and within 10 minutes, there was no more music. I mean, because they realized, it wasn't offensive, it wasn't anything negative or violent, it was just, I wanted to sleep. And they realized, okay, so they address things very quickly when it comes to tourism. But generally, it's very safe. I mean, I can only just tell you my own experience, but many other people I meet from Britain, for example, I stayed at a hotel called the Pegasus, which is where most of the flight attendants from British Airways would stay. So the government is really trying to promote.
By the way, we will have one of those breakouts. I feel like we should have like a Jamaica breakout, or maybe we'll make it part of the real estate.
So, yeah, I mean, if that answers your question. Was another question that you have? Yes.
So that's a lot of properties and a lot of project management. How are you taking care of that? Do you have a solution for how to then?
Well, we have very key players there that will work each site that we have. So in terms of management, it's site by site. I believe in on-site management from other properties I've had in the Boston area. I have a manager on the property that lives there, and that I talk to on a daily basis. So that's how we would deal with it. Be very proactive. We also engage the neighborhood. We also engage the locals, and tell them what's going on, and take their input and improve their neighborhoods. We're building schools. We're building farms. We want to do vertical farming. We want to, we're introducing this green energy, which is not on that island yet. It's going to cut electric bills almost in half, and be able to produce clean water, clean power from all types of biomass, from seawater, and from waste. So basically, we can take all the waste, and where we're near the ocean, we can take in combination with seawater to produce hydrogen energy. So,
I work with lots of companies that do this.
Perfect.
Okay.
Hawaii and Pacific Islands are an excellent example
Yeah.
of what's working. And Dean Rogers has spoken here before. He's doing some of the best work. So
right.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Great. Okay, great. Thank you.
Come join our 361 Firm community of investors and thought leaders. We have a lot of events created by the community as we collaborate on investments and philanthropic interests. Join us.